seconds. As we go to the fourth inning, the bottom half, and the Raiders lead it by a score of 4-1, Steve. And one of those feelings where you feel real good about the way this game is going right now. It's one of those feelings where, gee, I wish this thing would hurry up and get over with.
Well, when you get those times when the balls just kind of bounce your way and the calls start going your way, you start getting a little more comfortable. And I'll tell you what, the Raider fans down there, they're starting to yell a little bit louder and getting a little more and more excited as we start inching a little bit closer to the seventh inning. Of course, the Raiders like to add to that 3-run lead right now.
They lead it 4-1, and Reed Edwards will lead things off here in the bottom of the fourth. Much different from the other night. We crept along. This game half over, and it's only taken us an hour to get to that point.
Well, you look at both pitchers. That's their style. They come in and challenge the hitters. They dare you to hit their best stuff. And as a result, we're already in the bottom of the fourth. This time the other night, we were in the top of the third.
Pep Harris ready to go. He has looked awfully strong tonight, but he made one mistake on his own, gave up a 2-run homer, and then a terrible fielding mistake by his center fielder, Mark Anthony, cost him 2 more runs. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner and high. 0-1 the count. Reed's been jumping on the pitches and swinging and missing. Pep Harris, that time, he took the first pitch. 0-1 the count. That one missed outside, 1-1. Tell you one thing, if the Raiders hold on with this big of a crowd here, this some more celebration.
I think you're going to see a mob scene out on the field after the game if the Raiders do win this one. Not only the players going to be the first ones out there, but they're going to have about 2,000 people right behind them.
Swing and a miss by Reed, 1-2 the count. Lawrence leads it 4-1 here. We're in the bottom half of the fourth. Mark Lambert looking real good here tonight in this one. 1-2 count. Swing and a miss, and Reed goes down on strikes. And we have one away. You know, Lambert's success tonight, you don't have to have all those strikeouts, although that's been his key, and he has gotten a lot of them, to be effective. Where he's been so effective tonight, and he does have 4, which equals his total for the other night, he's just been getting a lot of ground balls for the infield to scoop up.
Well, that's the key. Strikeout, ground out, fly out, they all count the same. And when you look up at the scoreboard and see that 4-1 score, you feel like you just want to get an out any way it comes. If it's a strikeout, fine. If it's a ground out, fine. He's had the solid defense behind him tonight, and I think he feels more comfortable about it.
A little chin music to Tony Grant, high and inside. Tony backs out of the way. 1-0 the count. Raiders leading it 4-1. Grant steps back in there now. Pep Harris ready and fires. Hit hard and over second baseman Steve Hegler's head and into short right field. Tony Grant with his second hit of the night.
Tony wasn't pretty. He just kind of blooped that one right over the head of second baseman Steve Hegler. Tony on base for the second time tonight. He's got both of the Raiders' stolen bases here so far in this series. Let's see if he's going to take off again.
Charles Peterson comes to the plate. Charles, I'm sure, would like a good at-bat here. Harris fooled him on a couple of pitches his last trip up and got the strikeout. 4-1, the Raiders on top here in the bottom of the fourth. They have Grant down at first with 1 out. Harris checks over at first. Here's the wind, the pitch. Called strike on the inside. 0-1. Harris glances over at first. Fires, swing, and a miss. 0-2. No matter who wins it tonight, we're going to do our best. I think we've got enough mic cord to reach out there into the backstop and onto the field, and we'll try and get reactions from the winners here tonight. 0-2 the count. Wind, the pitch, runner going. Throw down there and nowhere near in time. Peterson called strike 3. So we have 2 down, and Grant is down at second. I won't be mean, Steve, but that was an awful throw.
Well, throw actually skipped out there not far from the pitcher's mound. And when you have throws like that from Reed, you're not going to throw out many base runners. Tony Grant now with 2 stolen bases in this game, 3 for the series, and that's the total for the Raiders.
Now batting for the Raiders, the pitcher number 8.
That'll bring up Mark Lambert. Lambert struck out his first trip, and still no outs recorded by Pep Harris other than strikeouts. But I'm sure the Raiders would be happy to strike out 21 times and go home with a 4-1 victory. That's high and outside, 1-0 to Lambert. You know, conceivably he could do that. No, we did have 1 ground ball. He could conceivably equal his strikeout record and lose here tonight.
Well, that's true. He's sailing here with the exception of a ground out by Mike Douglas last inning. He's sailing with the strikeouts, but I tell you what, he'd rather have that 4-1 lead on his side rather than the Raiders side right now. But sorry, Mr. Harris, you can't do that.
1-0 the count. The wind, the delivery, fouled over toward the Lancaster dugout. And it's 1-1. Well, this is the one sport, unfortunately, where you don't have a clock. And you can't just watch the clock tick down and urge it on. You got to play it out till its conclusion. 1-1 the count. That one's inside, 2-1. There's no 4 corners in baseball, is there?
Well, there's 4 corners, but it doesn't help to stall at all.
2-1 the count to Lambert. Grant down at second with 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th and a 4-1 lead. Harris checking second. Here's the pitch. Still inside to Lambert. Grant going to third. He got there. He's safe, and it's a 3-1 count now to Lambert. And Tony Grant very quietly getting a lot done for Lawrence in this series.
Gutsy call over there by Coach Ed Prescott, too. I think with 2 outs, he knows Mark has not been swinging the bat real well in this series. He wants to get Tony over to third base, and now a wild pitch, a pass ball, any of those combinations, which we saw plenty of in Game 2, could score him with the Raiders' 5th run.
Raiders up by 3, 4-1, 2 outs, 3-1 count to Lambert here. Bottom of the 4th. Harris very aware of Tony Grant over there at third base. Glances over at Tony, winds and throws. Foul back to the screen. Lambert did a good job of fighting that one off.
Mark, not an easy out by any means, but you look at the series here, he has not had a base hit against Pep Harris yet. Down at third base, Harris knows now he can't make a mistake, and when that gets in your mind, sometimes you try a little bit too hard and do make a mistake.
3-2 count to Mark Lambert. Here's the delivery. Swing and a miss. It gets away, but they tag him, and the side is retired. The Raiders get Grant to third and strand him through 4 complete. It's Lawrence 4, Lancaster 1. We'll be back in 60 seconds.